Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. Now, I recorded this video a few weeks ago, but we've just been so busy here lately, so I haven't had a time to edit it and upload it, but hopefully it will still encourage and motivate you. In this video, I'm going to take down all of my Christmas decorations. I'm going to tidy up my entire home. I'm going to simplify, and I'm also going to talk about living simple to be able to give extravagantly in this new year. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some of my goals for the new year. So if your Christmas decorations are up and you've brought a bunch of new things into your home and your home is a mess and it's cluttered and you just want some motivation, then keep watching. The first room that I like to work on whenever I am going to tidy up my home, whenever I want to declutter, whenever I just want to get my home back in order is the kitchen. And that's what I always do. And I kind of like that I have a consistent cleaning game plan every time I go to clean up my house because it helps me to know where to start. So that's what I would recommend for you to do. Pick one room in your house and say, this is where I'm going to start, and do the same thing every time. And that just kind of gives you a good guideline to go back to. So the first thing that I always like to do is put all of my clean dishes away. And then I like to load my dishwasher with any dirty dishes. And you can also, at this point in time, gather all of your dirty dishes from around the home and go ahead and load those in your dishwasher as well. And then I just wash any dishes by hand that need it, and then I go ahead and I dry those right away and I put them up. That way all of the dishes are taken care of. And since I did have so much to do around the house this day, my husband said he would cook my meals for me, so that was just such a blessing. So if your husband is at home with you, I would just recommend to ask him, maybe ask him the day before, like, hey, honey, I'm going to be getting a lot done around the house today. Do you think you could make the meals for me, or if you have kids, for me and the kids? Because I feel like if you don't do that, you can spend so much time in the kitchen just cooking and cleaning up after the mess is made from cooking that you don't get to all the things you want to get to. Or if you are home alone, then I would just say do something really simple like a smoothie, or you can buy like pre-made smoothies, which is great too. So kind of plan ahead before you go to clean and get a lot of things done in your house on whatever day you're going to do that. Like a few days before, go to the grocery store and get things that are quick and easy. That way you can just focus on cleaning and getting your house back in order. And then the next thing you want to do is start in one section of your kitchen on the countertop and work your way all the way around and just put everything that's out on the countertops back in its proper place. Now, while I do that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how my husband and I like to live simple so we can give extravagantly, and why we like to do that and how we do that. So every month, my husband and I like to sit down and we like to go over our budget. Now, one thing we always like to do before we do that is we like to pray together and ask that the Lord would just be in our time together, that He would give us wisdom and love and grace for one another. My husband is incredible. He is so good with money, and I've learned so much from him. But when we first started out in our marriage, I didn't know anything about budgeting or how to use wisdom with finances. And so I'm sure that was very frustrating for my husband initially trying to deal with my shortcomings in those areas. But over the years, the Lord has really taught us how to communicate in that area. He's taught me how to be content, and He has definitely used my husband to teach me how to live, like I said, more simple. And so once we go over our budget, what we do is we allot a certain amount of money for different things throughout the month. Like we only have a certain amount of money we spend on groceries every week. And that's one great way that you can actually live simple, is by eating most of your meals at home. Not, but I hardly ever buy coffee out. I like to make really good coffee at home, and I honestly enjoy it a lot more than any coffee I can buy while I'm out. And so we have an allotted amount of money for that. And then we have an allotted amount of money for cleaning supplies throughout the house and just things we have to replenish on every month. And that's another way that you can save. I try to make as many homemade products as I can because I find that making those homemade products, it really is a lot more inexpensive and really better for you than going out and buying a bunch of things to clean your house with. So I try to think of as many waste free options as I can. And then we have an allotted amount of money for date nights. And we find that when we budget and we can look at our budget and we stay within that amount, that we have a lot more money left over at the end of the month to where we can really pray and say, God, what do you want to use this for? And one thing that you'll find is there's always going to be people that come into your life that have a need. And there is something so wonderful and that feels so good about being able to give. And so you can look back on your budget every month and say, wow, I really thought everything through. I budgeted for everything. I lived as simple and minimal as possible. And now I'm able to give and bless somebody else. And trust me when I say the more you do that, the more addicting it becomes. Being able to give truly is better than receiving. All right, so back to cleaning. Once I have cleared off all of my counters, I go ahead and I scrub them down really well. As you just saw, basically all I do is I spray my countertops with my homemade all-purpose cleaner, and then I take some dish soap with a scrubbing pad and I scrub really well over the countertops, and then I take a hot rag and I wipe all of the soap off of the countertops. And as I'm doing that in the kitchen, basically what I'm doing is every space on the counter or in the kitchen that has Christmas decorations on it, I go ahead and I am gathering all of those things and I'm putting them in one section on my island. That way, when I go to put my Christmas decorations up, they're all in one space. So that's what I'm going to be doing throughout my whole home. As I go in to clean a space, I'm going to clean it first, and then I'm going to go ahead and collect all of the Christmas decor from that one space and put it on my island. Now, a lot of my Christmas decor I am going to be giving away, so I'm going to create a separate pile for that on the floor in the living room, but I'm also going to put some of the other items that I am keeping on the floor in the living room in a separate pile as well, because I am going to run out of space on the kitchen island because I do have a lot of Christmas decor throughout my entire home, but that's kind of what I'm doing now. And I also went ahead and I flipped my table around in the other direction just to change things up a bit. I like to do that with each new season. If I don't particularly like the way that the furniture is set up in whatever room it is that I'm working on, I will kind of change it up a bit. But yeah, I'm going to just continue to tidy up this space. So let's just keep on working. And while I finish up the kitchen, I am going to tell you guys a little bit about some of my goals for this new year. Now, there are a lot of areas where I want to grow in my walk with the Lord, which I will be talking about in other videos, but for today's video, I'm going to talk to you about some of the more natural goals that I have, not as much spiritual goals, but I feel like it really does help encourage my spiritual life as well, these more natural goals, if that makes sense. One of my big goals for the year 2020 is to get my entire home organized to where it functions really well for both my husband and myself. And basically, what I did to set myself up for success in this area for this new year is I sat down one morning, I made a cup of coffee, and I prayed before I even began, and then I started typing up a list. And I wrote out all of the spaces in my home that I want to organized. So my kitchen, my living room, all of the closets, all of my cleaning products, all of my husband's music items and all of his miscellaneous stuff, our master bedroom, our guest bedroom, our baby room. I want to do some makeovers. I want to make over some spaces in our master bedroom. I want to make over both of the bathrooms. There are specific spaces that I would really love to save up for to make over, and that's just a small list of some of the things that I came up with. It was a larger list than that, of course. And then what I did was I broke it down month by month. So for this month, the month of January, I'm going to just focus on my kitchen. And so basically, what I did was I typed up a month by month check off list. So for the month of January, I'm only going to focus on the kitchen. And then for the month of February, I'm going to focus on the living room. And I already went ahead and talked to my husband. And what we're going to do is we're going to set aside a budget every month to where I can really focus on that space and buy whatever organizing things I need. And I will be doing videos on all of these things too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But I feel like throughout my house right now, I just have things that they're organized, but they're all over the place. Like I don't have like just my cleaning closet and this is where all of my cleaning products are and this is my husband's space and this is where we keep all of his stuff. It's all kind of scattered. And that's why I had to sit down and type up a list, something that's attainable because you honestly can't get your entire home organized just in a matter of 1 or even 2 months. You still have a life that you have to live. You have to save up to be able to buy organizing things. And so, something that I like to go by, not just in this situation, but in all situations, is doing things slowly. That way, I can really focus on that one thing and do it to the best of my ability. I don't like to rush through things or just buy cheaper things just to get the space finished. I like to really save up and do things in a way to where that's how I want them to last for a long time, if that makes sense. So, and then another goal for this new year is as I'm going through each space and organizing it to try and create a minimalist home as a whole. And so I'm really going to be purging and getting rid of stuff, selling stuff, and just keeping the things that I actually use on a regular basis. Now, I do love to host, and so this is going to look a bit different than for me than it is for somebody else. I can't have just like 4 plates and 4 cups. I have to have several plates and several cups because I feel like for me, I don't want to go out and buy paper products every time I have to host a big event because I have a conviction about how wasteful we are in our culture. So I would rather have real plates and serve real cups to my guests and then just wash them. So I do have to have a bit more of those since I do host a lot. But yeah, those are just a few of my goals for this new year, and I would love it if you told me 1 or 2 or however many you want of your goals for this new year down in the comment section below. But now that the kitchen is all clean, the first thing I'm going to do is take down my Christmas tree. Now, as you just saw, I purchased these mesh bags, and that's what I'm going to house all of my Christmas tree ornaments in. I thought about one year getting a ornament organizer box. I'm sure you guys have seen those, but knew that I would not have enough space to house big boxes, so I wanted something that can more so flatten out. And our Christmas tree is actually sitting in a Christmas tree wooden skirt that my husband made me, and I will link the video for how to make that down below for you. And basically what I do is once I take my ornaments off my tree and everything else off my tree and I put my tree up, I house all of my ornaments in that box. So it doubles as like a box for me to keep all my ornaments in as well, which is really nice. Now, I did purchase this Christmas tree at a yard sale for like $20 a few years ago, so I am actually going to get rid of it. And next year, I think I'm going to go back to getting a real tree. I know it's a little bit more work, but I love having a real tree. I'm probably going to get a smaller one and maybe make a little table for it and set it on that. I'm not quite sure yet, but this tree is going to go bye-bye for now. And the next thing I like to do is just move all of my Christmas decorations that I've gathered on the island that were scattered throughout my kitchen and begin to set them in piles in the living room That way I can have everything there when I go throughout the rest of the home. I can just put all of my Christmas decorations into their right piles before I put them in their boxes. And then I'm going to go ahead and sweep and mop the kitchen. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put the bar stools back up against the island, and I'm going to put the dining room table chairs back. Now I am planning on sanding these chairs and spraying them a matte black, and I'm hoping to get a round wooden table to put in this space and sell this table, but that's going to be later on in the year. But stay tuned for that little makeover that I'm going to be doing. And now I'm just putting the cooktop grates back on the cooktop. I always like to run those through the dishwasher whenever I do a deep clean, and by this time all of my dishes are done being cleaned, so I'm going to go ahead and put those away. That way I have a totally cleaned kitchen. Now, this took me one whole day just to tackle my kitchen, so I will see you guys tomorrow when we go to finish the rest of the house. And that's what I would recommend for you to do, is take your time as you are taking your Christmas decorations down and decluttering and cleaning your house. Don't feel like you have to get it all done in one day. Just tackle a large space like I did here, my kitchen and your Christmas tree in one day, and then the next day the rest of the house won't feel as overwhelming to finish. So I'm going to just put some Christmas music on here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello you guys! So it is the next day here and I'm excited to finish up. We're going to go ahead and move into the living room, and the first thing I did was I took my garland off of my mantle. Now I made this garland with real Christmas tree clippings that I got for free at Lowe's, so I did try to put it in a bag, but that didn't work, so I just bundled it up and brought it out back to our fire pit. And I'm going to remove all of the remaining Christmas decor off of the mantle. And since I did get some pine needles on the floor here, I am going to go ahead and vacuum all of those up first before I clean the fireplace and the mantle. And then I just took my homemade wood cleaner and I cleaned the wood mantle. And then I took my homemade all-purpose spray and I cleaned the granite on the fireplace. When we installed this granite, we went ahead and used the same granite that we have on our kitchen counter because we were creating an open concept. And if you're doing that, if you're creating an open concept from your kitchen to your living room, this is just a little idea to use the same granite or marble or whatever you use for your countertop in your kitchen on your fireplace, and it just makes it flow really nicely from one room to the next. And it's nice because it's clean, it's modern, and I think this is kind of a timeless look as well. And then I just added a simple piece of art onto my mantle with a couple of candlesticks and candlestick holders. I am going for more of a minimalist look throughout my home this year, so I figured I might as well just start now. And then I went ahead and I cleared off our entertainment center. I put all of the Christmas decor that was here into their proper piles that I started yesterday in the living room behind the chairs, and then I'm going to just dust everything that I'm going to put back onto this entertainment center. And this entertainment center is actually just a dresser, and we will be moving this into our master bedroom. And I actually purchased an entertainment center online for $50 that my husband and I are going to be upcycling, that we are going to be placing there in place of that dresser. So stay tuned for that makeover. And then I just went ahead and I cleared off all of the Christmas decor off of our coffee table, and I just added just the regular decor that I like to keep there year-round back onto the coffee table. And like I said, once again, I am keeping in mind as I redecorate each space, once I take the Christmas decor down, that I'm wanting to create a more minimalist look throughout my home, and so I I tried to aim for that with everything that I redecorated with. Now, I do want to apologize if you hear some noise in the background of this video. That is my bunny. I have a little mini Rex bunny, and I like to edit my videos in the same room that she stays in just to give her a little bit of company, but she's making quite a bit of noise right now. She is a free-roaming bunny. We leave her bedroom door open and she is never in a cage, but she loves her room. She never hops out, so we're just in here right now. And the next thing that I'm going to clear off is my plant stand. I decorated it with some Christmas decor. My husband made this for me. I helped him a little bit. I will link the video showing you guys how to recreate this plant stand yourself in the description box below. I like it because it's simple, it's minimal, and it's just a nice place where you can house your houseplants if you are trying to get into, having more houseplants like I have this past year. I'm going to just dust that and then place my plants back on my plant stand as you see me doing here. And then I'm going to just sweep underneath it so I can go ahead and put my basket right back underneath it. And this is our coat rack. This is where I hung our stockings this year, so I'm going to go ahead and just clear all that off and wipe it down, and I'm going to just place one of my plants on top of here just to give it a simple, clean, once again, minimal look. And these are all of the Christmas decorations that I have piled up so far. I'm not going to actually go through those until the end of this video. And the last thing I'm going to do in the living room here is vacuum the carpet and sweep the floors, and then I'm going to move on to our master bedroom. That is the last and final space we're going to go through today because I also decorate this room for Christmas, but those are really the only spaces I decorate: the kitchen, the living room, and our master bedroom. And our bedroom just so happens to be a mess, so this should be fun. The first thing I always like to do whenever I tidy my bedroom is make my bed. Now I am going to be taking down my Christmas decorations as I clean my space, so I did take all the Christmas decorations off of the shelf above our bed as you just saw. But yeah, I'm just making the bed. One of our projects for this year is to change a few things in our master bedroom as well as make over our bathroom. And some of the changes that we're going to be making in our master bedroom is we are going to be doing candlelights in the ceiling and getting a new fan. And we are going to be doing some bigger baseboards. And we are going to be putting an IKEA PAX closet system in our closet. And the last thing we're going to be doing is adding new curtain rods that we can hang up higher and wider than the current ones that are there. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we're going to just do a total gut job on the bathroom. But one thing I would recommend for you to do if you can't do all the things that you want to do to your house right away is to purge as much of your stuff as possible and try to create a minimal space within each room of your home. That will make you feel so much better about this space. Having less clutter just automatically makes things look so much nicer. I've watched so many videos on YouTube about minimalism, and some of these people that are minimalists live in apartments or homes that aren't renovated, but the fact that they have just a small amount of stuff automatically, at least to me, makes their spaces look so much more aesthetically pleasing regardless of how updated the space is. So that's just a little tip. And then I always like to iron our pillowcases and just give them a nice crisp, clean look whenever I go to change the bed, which is once a week. And that may sound like a lot of work, but really it just takes me a few minutes to iron the pillowcases, and it just makes the room look a lot more complete to me once I'm done cleaning it. And then I always like to go through our closets and collect all of the loose hangers and put them on one section. And I'm just, as you see here, just tidying up the rest of the room. And then I went ahead and I took out my collapsible hampers and I divided all of my laundry, and then I placed all of our hampers right outside the bedroom door in the hallway, and that way when I went to do laundry the next day it was all ready to go, and that just made it easier for me. And the last thing I did was I vacuumed before I went in, and I just tidied up our master bathroom. I didn't do anything special this time. I just put everything that was out on the counters and the shelves and the floor back in their proper places, and that's pretty much it. I deep clean our bathroom twice a month, so the other days of the month I just kind of tidy up. And then the last thing I did was I put all of my Christmas decorations that were out in piles in this section right here back in their black Christmas bins. As you see, they're stacked because they're full. I already went ahead and did that, and I didn't film that because I just didn't feel like that was something that anybody would want to see because it just took a long time. And I did get rid of a lot of my Christmas decor as well. And I just stacked it here by the stairs, and I had my husband go ahead and bring it downstairs in storage in the garage for me when he got home the next day. And then I swept this area, and that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it motivated you. I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and stay tuned because I'm going to be creating a lot more videos that will hopefully encourage you in this new year. And until next time, I love you guys so much. Bye.